So, what day is it today?
Tuesday?
Wrong. It's NWA Day.
They want NWA? Let's give them NWA.
I was thinking that it might be a good idea if you and I formed an alliance.
Let's get ready to rumble!
Attention, everyone. Welcome to the greatest wrestling program in the world.
Ladies and gentlemen, can I please have your attention? Stop what you're doing and listen.
Okay, let's party.
It's the pre-party with J. Cal.
And I'm J. Cal. Thanks for joining us on this beautiful Tuesday. It is NWA Day. It is the day that Power premieres on Roku every Tuesday at 5 p.m. Eastern. Excuse me, I said that wrong. At 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific on Roku Sports, or you can watch it on demand on the Roku Sports channel. We are talking about the National Wrestling Alliance. My name is J. Cal. This is a presentation of alliance-wrestling.com, your number one source for news and information for the National Wrestling Alliance. I've been doing this a long time, but not too long to tell you guys that I'm excited to be here today on this beautiful Tuesday. Your boy Jay hit the gym earlier today. Had some more reps, more maxes. Arms are getting big, but not big enough. We're going to be hitting the gym every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday in 2026 as well. We're going to get jacked up. I want to look like Kevin Owens, 8 Kevin Owens. We're live streaming now both on YouTube and TikTok. If you guys want to join us on either location, we're also on Twitch and Kick if you guys want to do that. Alex Misery's in the chat. He's checking us out. We're big Alex Misery fans over here. Alex Misery has a big-time matchup tonight. He'll be taking on some Australian dudes. We'll be talking about that in a little bit. I have some information on these Australians. I know about these Australians, okay? I've been following those Australians for about a decade now. Elliot Sexton and Duke Hudson is, if you want to call him by his WWE name, Duke Hudson, and Slex. Yeah, I know about those guys. Yeah, I go way back in the Canadian independent wrestling scene. We have our friends over at EPW Explosive Pro Wrestling out in Perth. Our friends over at the original NWA Wrestling in Australia in Sydney. And then, of course, our friends over at the NWA, excuse me, not NWA. It's the, what was that? World Wrestling All-Stars? Something like that. I always forget the name of the other promotion, and I feel bad for it. What's up? Double D is in the chat. What's going on, Devin? Thank you for hanging out with us all day today. Let's not stand on ceremony, of course. Let's talk about all the cool things that are going on with the NWA currently. Of course, they just got done with WrestleCade weekend, where a lot of the NWA talent had appeared. We had the Page sisters. We had the national champion in Mike Mondo. Mike Mondo, you guys might remember, is formerly wrestled with the WWE back in the day. We had, like I said, Pretty Empowered was there. The Page sisters, Kylie and Kenzie. Who else was at that expo? The WrestleCade weekend. We had, the Country Gentlemen were there. And they also competed in some of the wrestling matches that took place over the weekend as well. So that's all really cool. And I can't wait to see, if you watched live the WrestleCade feed, you got to see some of those matches. Hey, Dark Angel, thanks for coming back in. But real quick, let's look at some of the results for this for the show. If I can pull them up. If it'll work. The Country Gentlemen. AJ Kazana, Casey Kazana. Let's see. So at the AMW showdown that took place. No, they don't have the results up here yet. Okay. Well, then I don't have results for you, but we do know that the Kazana brothers were there. We do know that Natalia Markova was in attendance. Like I said, the Page sisters, I believe that Tiffany Nieves was also there. So a lot of cool stuff. Of course, the national champion was in the house, and a lot of fun stuff. If you guys went to WrestleCade, I'd love to hear what you guys thought of it. If you took any video, I'd love to see it. Colby Carino was there. It was good to see Colby Carino out of the house. He's been he hadn't been doing so hot lately, and he required some a neck surgery that has kept him out of action for a while. But hopefully, he'll be back in the ring soon. But by and large, WrestleCade was pretty cool. Oh, Retro's there. He said that WrestleCade effing rocked. The JCP girls were at WrestleCade too. Clara Carter and Tess Warren. Oh, you watched it live? I need to, you know what it is? Was it on Fight? Retro? Was it on Fight? Or excuse me, Triller? AML the day after hasn't aired yet. But was it Retro? Was it on Triller? Oh, what's up? Epic Pro Wrestling, my boy Andrew. Andrew's probably going to come back on the live stream in the beginning of the new year. We'll talk a little bit about what's coming up next for Epic Pro Wrestling. They've already announced one match that I'm excited about, and that is Bad Dude Tito versus Cruz. Why can't I think of his first name real quick? Cruz. Jordan Cruz. I couldn't think of his first name for a minute. It was on Title Match. All right, well, I got to go check out Title Match then. I do want to see WrestleCade. I didn't get to see it. And I was out at sea. I didn't get to see any wrestling, really. But I'm excited to see about that. Ace Animal, what happened? Why is today not a very good day? Why is it a sad day for the WWE Universe? Ace Animal. We'll get back to NWA in a minute. I just want to know why. Yeah, if it was on Triller did a Black Friday sale, and I think you could have gotten Triller for half off. Oh, Larry passed away. That is unfortunate. That is sad. That's really sad, actually. If you've ever owned a pet, you know how hard it is to lose a pet. So that sucks. Sorry to hear it. Excuse me. But getting back to again. The NWA, there are the TV tapings that are coming up December 13th, which is 11 days away. The Saturday after Riley's birthday, if you know, you know. They're already advertising Thrillbilly Silas Mason, the world champion, the women's world champion, Natalia Markova, and Brian Idol, and EC3 and Pretty Boy Smooth, the Towering Greta, who we haven't even been introduced formally to yet, Kenzie and Kylie Page, Carson, Bartholomew Drake, Knox, and Murdoch. Is Knox healthy? The women's television champion Tiffany Nieves with Miss Star, the Immortals, the national heavyweight champion Mondo and his tag team partner Slade, the U.S. tag champions and Kerry Morton and Alex Taylor. And it's funny because the NWA does this really silly thing where they try to keep their they try to keep kayfabe from their live results. So when you don't see, if you read the live results, if you read spoilers, if you read any of that, you're like 3 months ahead of the programming that you're going to watch on Roku, which is kind of a bummer because when you think about it, you know, Silas Mason won his NWA World's Heavyweight Championship back in like August, but we didn't even see it until late November. That's kind of a bummer. Hey, what's going on, Mia? I hope you're having a good day. Hope you're having a good Tuesday. I'm having a good Tuesday. All right. Noob's in the chat. What's up, Noob? Hope you're doing well. Willie Bowen says, hey, J. Cal, what do a flat tire and Tyrus' reign as world heavyweight champion have in common? Both of them are useless. Damn. That's good, Willie. I like it. Retro said, I got some Northeast Wrestling DVDs for Black Friday. Rick Del Santos would be proud. Hey, Rick will be proud. I hope Rick is driving down to West Nyack, New York for the Gotham Wrestling that's happening tonight at the Levity Live out there in West Nyack. I should message him. I think he's on his way. Hopefully we get some results. The aforementioned Jordan Cruz, United Wrestling Network World Champion, will be defending his title. But we're getting all over the place. I'm all over the place. Anyways, getting back to the NWA. Of course, like I said, that show is taking place on the 13th. But this Friday, we have NWA Chicago taking place at the Highland Park Studios on Green Bay Road. And that'll be NWA Chicago. And then on Saturday, you have NWA Exodus Pro. And that one's going to feature the Midwest Championship is going to be on the line. Dante Casanova defends against Richard Holiday. That's going to be a huge, big match. They're going to have a rematch for the Exodus Pro Women's Championship with La Princesa Tiffany Nieves taking on Marty Bell. The Holy Grail take on Carson Drake and the Slime Balls. Thank you for the heart meme, Mia. Appreciate you. Matt Cross makes his Exodus Pro debut. That's pretty cool. Ashton Day will be there. A lot of the top names from Exodus Pro will be involved. World League Wrestling takes place on Saturday, December 13th, running opposite the TV taping. That's interesting. And then, of course, Christmas at the Joe Kazana Promotions, December 17th. You're going to see the World Heavyweight Champion defend at Joe Kazana Promotions. It's kind of a big deal. Then on December 20th in Florida, at St. Petersburg, Florida, you've got the Christmas Clash, which is going to feature the Stars, Fight the World Wrestling, Brian Idol, your NWA TV champion, NWA Women's Champion Natalia Markova, friend of the show Alex Misery, Daisy Kills, Damian Frenrier, Greta, and so much more. And so a lot of cool stuff coming for the NWA. We are approaching the end of the year, and there's going to you get really funny comments on the live stream, and somebody asked if I had one of those fan accounts, and I do not have one. I apologize. I don't have one of those. Maybe I should get one, but I don't have one. Yeah, there is a lot of wrestling in that Nyack, Poughkeepsie area in New York. I think it's pretty cool, man, and it's on my list of places to go in 2026. If it happens, what I would love to happen is I'm going to fly out to that area of New York to try to catch a Gotham Wrestling, and then take a car ride over the border, go to Canada, maybe check out a Maple Leaf Pro Wrestling show, say what's up to Tim and Raluca, and maybe get to go to a Toronto Blue Jay game, New York Yankee game, New York Mets game. I don't know. I just want to see something interesting, do stuff that I haven't done before. What's up, Dad Nerd Dude? Willie said, what happened to Talos? Talos spent a big chunk of the year working with All Japan Pro Wrestling. That's why he wasn't at the 77. Or actually, was he at the 77? Now I don't even remember. But yeah, Talos is still around. I just think he has a reduced role because he hadn't been on TV because he was out of the country. Sam Retro says, let's ask Papa Joe to give us an NWA title match for Christmas. I think we're going to see the World Heavyweight Champion defend at Christmas. I really think we will at Christmas. Christmas at the Joe. Whew. Yeah, man. Look, and that's a family vacation too. Like, the wife has already signed off on it. New York, a Mets game or a Yankees game, a Gotham Wrestling show, and then Toronto. If by chance Maple Leaf was running, that would be ideal, but there's no guarantee. And maybe a Blue Jays game. That would be perfect. That would be a perfect week for me. That'd be a perfect week. And then seeing my friend Tim and Raluca, they are the northern version of the Alliance North. I think that's what his screen name was. Anyways, Dad Nerd Dude is I'm going to Chicago in February. Elimination Chamber is the day after I leave. Oh, Dad Nerd, you can't change your schedule for one extra day? Oh, that's so years and years ago, I was in Mazatlan, Mexico, and I saw signs for Lucha Libre. And at that point, I had never been to a live Lucha Libre event, but I left the day before the event was to happen. And I wanted to go. I wanted to go so bad, but didn't, obviously. Sam, there's a lot of promotions in Canada that, there's a lot of good stuff that seems pretty cool. Like there's Torture Pro Wrestling, which is like in Quebec, which I don't know my Canadian geography, so I haven't mapped anything out, but that's a possibility. More on the Central Coast, you've got Canadians Wrestling Elite. They use a lot of pretty decent sized names, and then of course on the West Coast of Canada there is the All Star Wrestling too. Quebec, yeah, okay, you're right, Dad Nerd. I should have said it better. Dadner, that's so cool, man. I'm excited for you. I hope you have a good time. Noob says, do you like Papa Joe being in charge of the NWA? I love Joe Kazana. Joe Kazana is a friend of the show. I don't like Joe Kazana running the NWA, but I don't like Billy Corgan running the NWA either. In fact, if they want someone good to run it, they should let me run the NWA. I would do a better job. I definitely plan on getting down to that Albany area. Yeah, I think that's pretty cool, man. You missed out on the 77. You should have went to the 77 retro. But I know, like, money and time and everything else. I wish I would have went. In fact, my plan originally was to go to the 77th anniversary show and not the Crockett Cup. It was because they brought in Natty Neihart made me decide to go to the event in at the ECW Arena. Because, like, I had been to the ECW Arena. That wasn't new for me. Going to Philly was not new. I've been to Philly now like 3 times. 2 for an NWA event, 1 for a dog show and dog event. Don't tell Jaden I said show. Because Dangerous General Wrestling Gladiators runs in New Jersey. And I definitely enjoyed there, but I wanted to stay in Philly because I didn't want to stay in New Jersey. And then the last time I went to Philly, I stayed in New Jersey and drove to Philly. Go figure. And the International Museum, was that at 76? Is that the area 2 in Albany? That I don't know, Retro. That's a great question that I would have to find out. I don't know for sure. All right. Retro, I love Long Island too. Yeah, man. All right. Now David Valentine with his fake breaking news. Billy Corgan in talks to sell the NWA to Brett Lauderdale for an undisclosed amount of money. I know who Brett Lauderdale is, David. He is the owner of GCW. He bought GCW, actually bought Jersey Championship Wrestling from Ricky Otazu, and they ended up running events under the GCW and the JCW banner. And I don't think I would be shocked and surprised if GCW bought the NWA, but I wouldn't hate it. I mean, it just depends on what he'd do with it. But I don't respect Billy. I don't respect Brett Lauderdale to handle the NWA any better than what our current owner, William Patrick Corgan, is doing. Yeah, Sam, Thrill Billy winning that title live was, I mean, look, I didn't get to see it live either, right? I was here in California, but I did see the clips. I saw our good friend Rick Del Santo shared the clip of him winning the title, and you could tell it was a long night, and Rick Del Santo popped like a little kid when Thrill Billy won the title, and I know I would have popped too. I didn't think Thrill Billy was going to win the title that night. I had no idea he would win the title that night, but I'm so glad he did. Thrill Billy, to me, is one of the best things about the NWA, and he should have the World's Heavyweight Championship. Oh, Retro. Okay, I misunderstood. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know much about the Wrestling Museum in Albany. I don't know much about it, but I would love to go to it. I would love to check it out. Anyways, so Willie said, who is the current NWA World Women's and Tag Team Champions? Well, the current NWA Women's World Champion is Natalia Markova. Markova won the title at the 77th anniversary show by defeating Kenzie Page. And then the tag team champions is a little bit of a trickier question, Willie, because I can't tell you for sure who the women's champions are. We know this, and it was reported on last night's NWA Into the Fire segment, that the World Tag Team titles have been declared vacant. And we don't exactly know why it's being reported that the titles were vacant, but we do know that TVMA were forced to vacate the championship titles, and I believe it's due to Valentina Rossi being unable to compete. Now, I said it on this live stream a couple months ago that Rossi was in Japan competing for both Marvelous and Sendai Girls during the 77th anniversary show, and I believe she was gone for those TV tapings that followed. So Rossi did make her return at Samhain 3, and since Rossi has been competing for Ring of Honor, Shine, and even Jersey Championship Wrestling, but they declared those titles vacant. So tonight it's going to be Tiffany Nieves and a mystery partner taking on the Page sister Kylie and Kenzie for the World Tag Team Championships. But I don't know who it is. Evan and Traylon, I am not Kevin Owens. My name is Jay Cal. I'm from the Alliance blog. I talk about wrestling, but I am not a pro wrestler. If that makes sense, I hope it clears it up for you. And then you got this guy. What's up, OBB Streamlab World? Oh, that doesn't show up on the screen. It's a cute little emoji. Anyways, so yeah, I mean, that's the first kind of breaking news that we didn't hear about initially, is that those tag titles are now declared vacant. And then the interesting thing too is during the Samhain, they announced that matchup as those titles were vacated too. So like the Hex and which is Marty Bell and what was her name? Allison Kay. Allison Kay and Marty Bell, the Hex, challenged TVMA for the tag titles at Samhain. So I don't know where those titles are. I don't know who the actual NWA Women's Tag Team Champions are. And hopefully after tonight, we'll have a little bit more of a clarification of who's what, what's who. Also tonight, we have Mike Mondo defending the national championship against the winner of the Austin Idol Invitational, The Wall. And it's not the original Wall. It's Tyler Stevens, who's been going by The Wall in the Southern independent wrestling scene, working out of Georgia, working for not NWA, but working for Mid-South Wrestling and a couple other promotions. As part of the NWA, has worked NWA Krossfire. Actually even got a victory over JAC, who will be working later tonight against the World's Heavyweight Champion. He regularly teams with Javen Myra as the Foundation, and his only appearance on Power was during the Idol Invitation. Again, Mike Mondo won the national championship at the 77th anniversary show by defeating Mims when the Pope got involved in the match and hit Mims with his finishing move mid-match, allowing Mondo to get the victory. Mondo ever since has been on a tirade about the national championship. You might have heard him talking about that really anywhere on social media. And I think it's going to be a pretty interesting match. We got to see Tyler. Retro says Tyler Stevens is from that Wisconsin area. You might be right. It does say he's from Georgia. And I looked it up earlier today. And Tyler Stevens on Cage Match wrestles a lot in... I'll just pull it up here. Excuse me. Starting to lose the voice. Tyler Stevens from Atlanta, Georgia, 27 years old, 6'5", wrestles for Spartan Pro in Alabama, TWE Nightmare in Tennessee, NAP in Indianapolis, TWE in Tennessee, Krossfire in Seaverville, Action in Georgia, Krossfire, Seaverville, Dragon Con in Georgia, TWE in Tennessee, New South in Alabama. So, yeah, I mean, from what I see, he's mostly wrestling in that southeast area, you know, Alabama, Tennessee, Georgia. He was also, and he, again, was at the New York 77 anniversary show. So, he used to wrestle for NWA ACW. Are we talking about the same Tyler Stevens? Because he's 27 years old. I don't think we're talking about the same guy. Because Tyler Stevens started wrestling in 2021. So I don't think we're talking about the same Tyler Stevens, Retro. Impact 88 said, who is the current NWA USA Tag Team Champions? Well, we know at the USA Tag Team Champions are currently, because of kayfabe and TV, Alex Taylor and Kerry Morton. But the Slime Balls actually won the title, and I think we see them win the titles at these these TV tapings in Tampa. Double D says, I want viral sensation tribal Keith Ben Bishop to get a shot with the NWA. Yeah, I think that Ben Bishop is on the hearts and minds of a lot of NWA fans. I feel like he'd be a good opponent for Thrillbilly Silas Mason, in that there's not too many people bigger than Silas Mason. Ben Bishop would be one of those guys that is, I believe he's taller than Silas Mason. I'm up for that too. Noob asks, so who's Natalia Markova facing at the tapings? They haven't announced who she is going against yet. Keon, I'm not sure what you mean. Are go my opponent? I don't know what that means, Keon. Maybe that's a typo. I'm not sure, but I don't know. But getting back to this week's Power, then we have the Australian Invasion. We have the Lost taking on Australia's Slex and Duke Hansen. As we said earlier in the show, actually, this was on the pre-show. Slex was reintroduced to the NWA during the Worldless Vampire Tour back in 2023. Believe it or not, he has victories over Alex Taylor, Mercurio, and even the current NWA World's Heavyweight Champion, Silas Mason. However, he also unsuccessfully challenged Kerry Morton for the World Junior Heavyweight Championship. And his last appearance on Power actually happened earlier this year, back in March, when he lost to Jay Bradley, formerly of the Fixers. And then Duke Hudson, who, longtime NWA fans who used to follow Explosive Pro Wrestling in Perth, which used to be an NWA member, and also NWA Wrestling Australia, which was in Sydney. Elliot Sexton. Elliot Sexton was one of the big names, part of the TMDK. Him and Slex also were a part of TMDK. And he had been in development with the WWE for the past 6 years. He was part of the Chase U group as Duke Hudson. And most recently, he has been working for Reality of Wrestling. That's Booker T's promotion in Houston. Oddly enough, he hasn't wrestled a whole lot on the independent circuit since coming back to pro wrestling, since leaving the WWE. But I will say this. I don't know which version of the Lost we're going to get tonight. I don't know if it's Alex Taylor and Lev, if it's Alex Misery and Lev, or Crazy Steve and Misery, or if somehow Gags the Gimp gets in there. I'm not sure which version of the Lost we're going to get, but the Lost desperately need to get some wins and some momentum going into 2026. I think we could have a great feud between the Slime Balls and the Lost over those U.S. tag team titles, and I would love to see this happen. Mia says she could see the Ric Flair action figure. I have two of them. I don't know which one you could see for sure, but I have this guy. Oh, you see the other one. This is the AWA Remco back in like 85. And this is like the 1991 Galoob Ric Flair, in case you care to see him. Ric Flair was the greatest NWA World Champion of all time, maybe the greatest wrestler of all time. So you got to represent Flair. I also have a Blue Demon Jr., a bootleg knockoff. I also have a Dan the Beast Severin, former NWA World Champion. Oh, yeah, and Raven, former NWA World Champion. And Tyrus, former NWA World Champion. And a Kevin Owens. I don't know why I have a Kevin Owens. I don't know why I have that one. All right. Misery, who's wrestling? Oh, okay. Yeah. Lockjaw Drake. Different guy. Yeah, that's my twin. Oh, thanks, Caesar. You and me on the same team, it appears. Kevin Owens. Let's see. I have a bunch of other figures too, but I don't want to pull everything out right now. That's for another show. Another day, another show. Let's see. Devin, that is a UFC action figure. It was I saw it at Target a couple years ago, and I was like, I don't think they'll ever make a Dan Severn wrestling figure, so I bought the UFC figure. How cool is it to have your own action figure? Caesar, you son of a... This was I tried to do a Pop Funko once to make it look like me, and it didn't really come out right. I feel like it looks more like George Lopez. Anyways. All right. When was Ric Flair and the AWA for them to make a figure of him? That's a great question, Patrick. And I feel like the answer is this. I feel like the toy line was created as that that short-lived co-promotion between the NWA and AWA. Once the WWE kind of took off, WWF took off, and let's see something. I'm sorry. I got to take this real quick. Hold on. Sorry, guys. I got to do something real quick. Oh, man. Okay, real quick. We're talking NWA now, but I will answer your question, Nick, because you called me Kevin Owens. You know how much I love that. I do think it's Austin Theory joining the Paul Heyman group, and I think it makes perfect sense. It's the Paul Heyman's vision of the future of WWE, and why wouldn't you put Austin Theory in that group? It just makes a lot of sense to me. So yeah. Yeah, Retro, yeah, I had to get it because I didn't think I'd find it later. Double D, okay, well, geez, what? All right. So I showed you, showed you Tyrus. Give you a good look at Dan the Beast Severin. I like the sweat stained shirt. I showed you my bootleg Blue Demon Jr. that I got off of eBay, but I could get them all the time in Mexico now for like half the price. And I got Retro was there when I actually got the Tyrus figure. He was also there when I got the Raven figure, but this doesn't really look like Raven at all. There it is. And then we've got the NWA World's Heavyweight Champion, Thrillbilly Silas Mason. I defy you to tell me that's not Thrillbilly, especially because look at those abs. Thrillbilly's got those abs. We showed you the Ric Flair. Hiding back here, I have a Sabu. Pint size All-Stars. I also have a Harley Race somewhere of the same one. I have an unopened Blue Demon Jr. Lucha figure. These are like the same scale as like the G.I. Joe from like, or Star Wars figures that I grew up with in the 70s. Let's see. My kids got me this one. The Ultimate Warrior. I don't open up a lot of my figures. I only open up the ones that I really, really like. Don't tell my kids I said that. An autographed Scorpio Sky AEW action figure. I guess that would be my most rare one because it's autographed. Alex Misery, I need to get the Lost merch. When is it on sale? I've got Ken Shamrock, former NWA World Heavyweight Champion. Got AJ Styles, former NWA World Champion. Here is another, oh, that's Dusty. Another Raven action figure. I think this was the ECW one. No, I don't work for the NWA. I'm just a big fan of the National Wrestling Alliance. Hayabusa action figure. Samoa Joe. AEW World Champion Samoa Joe. I need to get him a belt. Ricky Saints. This is getting out of hand here. Oh, Roddy Piper. Misery, you like that Hayabusa, huh? Let's see. I know I have more. Oh, this one will be a hit. Former NWA World Heavyweight Champion Nick Aldis. What else do I got? I used to have an Undertaker somewhere. I don't know where it's at. If we move Omega Supreme over here, we've got ECW World Champion Terry Funk. It's good because I got to clean all this stuff anyways. Former NWA World Heavyweight Champion Harley Race. I'm sorry, Retro. Double D asked me to do this. It's the only reason why I'm doing it. I didn't even want to. I think I have some more somewhere else too. And then these guys, these were in Mexico, and they're Marvel figures, but the Lucha Libre edition. So this is Thanos or El Terro Purpura. And then El Furioso. I know, Patrick. I was just reading what was on the card. And then I also have where is it? Somewhere in here. Oh, crap. Oh, yeah. These are some of my old figures that Now, you'll have to forgive me because these are literally my old figures that I had as a kid that are really beat up. But Larry Zbyszko, AWA figure. Road Warrior Animal. Road Warrior Hawk. Michael P.S. Hayes. Buddy Lee Roberts of the Freebirds. My broken Rick Martel. Sorry, his arm broke. Sadly, so did the Scott Hall arm. I think I could glue him back in, but, you know, I just haven't. And the original Steve Regal. We used to paint his face with a marker and made him our Sting. So there it is. There it is, guys. You got my wrestling figure collection. Stay tuned for next week when we'll talk about my Transformer collection. Yeah, some of them are all busted up, though. A lot of these guys are old. And I have some other rare ones, too. Like, you guys probably won't know these wrestlers. But SoCal Crazy from SoCal Pro. These figures were literally made in China. Sorry if I'm showing my stomach. Guy named Johnny Yuma. You guys ever hear of this guy, Johnny Yuma? I can't believe you guys had me pull out all my figures. Thanks, Mia. You're the one that started it. Yeah, you're right, Chris. That would be funny. Oh, no. Now what am I going to do with all this? I had that Road Warrior Hawk from a yard sale when I was little. That's awesome. Thank you, Caesar. Yeah, I think I have a few more somewhere else too, but I don't know. I used to have a lot more when I was a kid, and I had a good chunk of the Galoob figures, like like Hogan, Greg Valentine, King Kong Bundy, Big John Studd, Andre the Giant, Tito Santana. I had all those guys, but I gave them to my nephew when he was born. I'd never had any daughters, so. Retro, you want to see some Transformers? I mean, I got them. Like, got this off of the TikTok shop. Got Omega Supreme, one of my favorite Transformers. All right, here we go. I haven't even taken it out of the box yet. The G.I. Joe crossover Megatron and his tank. You guys are... The Dreadnoughts and Soundwave. I've got an Optimus Prime somewhere around here. Why am I doing all this? I don't know, guys. You asked for it. If NWA joined the winning team, they would have a TV deal too. What do you mean by that, Sean Mega? It's time for the Wrestling Alliance action figure power hour. So, you know, I could totally be like, what's his name? I forgot his name. The old TNA announcer. What's going on, Mad? How the fuck do I not see that? Retro, what didn't you see? What didn't you see, Retro? We got it all, man. What about gargoyles? You guys like gargoyles? Xanatos from Gargoyles. Optimus Prime bobblehead. Hello, wife. Steel Clan robot. I got a lot of stuff. I bought this one. I ordered it from Japan, and I was disappointed. I thought it was going to be full size. I spent like $50 on it, and I was like, wait, this is it? I was a little disappointed. Wait, what about Voltron? Do you guys like Voltron? Okay. Now did I lose all my audience? UWF is no longer in existence, also known as Universal Wrestling Federation. I did hear about Larry Punk passing away. That sucks. That's, you know, I've lost pets. Sean Mega says, donate those toys for Christmas. Sure, man. Sure. I spent a fortune on this. I would just give it away. It's a good idea. For Japan, that's extra large. Yeah, baby Chris. TNA has a TV deal with AMC channel. Yeah, I'm excited for TNA. I feel like TNA having the TV deal with AMC is going to be huge for TNA. Quite possibly makes them the number 2 wrestling promotion. I know AEW is a big company, but TNA right now has never been hotter than it is right now. And working with the WWE, if that relationship continues to grow, how can they not succeed? And if AMC is even paying for a portion, just even a tiny portion of production cost, and the revenue ad share is going to alone will be way better than what they were getting even on the channel that they were owned by. So yeah, it's a huge, huge deal. The Omega Supreme was sitting over here, Retro, so it was easy for you to miss. And although it's hard to tell, this too is a Transformer. It is Bumblebee. And somewhere I also have what is it? I don't know. Doesn't matter. I have Transformer. I have an Optimus Prime Lego set and a Voltron Lego set that's just sitting over here. And no, I'm not giving them away to charity. They're mine. All right, can we get back to wrestling now? You guys got me off focus here for a bit. My wife's over there laughing at me. No, we did talk about Claudio Castagnoli becoming the CML champion, but can we say how great that Claudio Castagnoli is? And him being the CMLL champion just only further proves how great of a wrestler he is. Retro, I'm sorry if I killed you, brother. That was unintentional. But getting back to Claudio, yeah, Chris, very happy to see Claudio winning that championship. Claudio obviously is a very talented guy. And I don't feel like he ever got his just desserts in the WWE. He should have. He should have. He was a fantastic wrestler. And the fact that he never got more than like with the run with the U.S. title or the tag titles, I think is very disappointing. And I'm hoping that this is a trial run to see how Claudio can get over, because I feel like Claudio should be maybe the next guy to be the AEW World Champion. If not after Joe, then maybe after Joe, if that makes any sense. They wanted to see my figures, so I pulled them all out. And now I have a huge mess to clean up. But are you not entertained? All right, so getting back to the Australians, we've got Slex and Elliot, excuse me, Duke Hansen, and they will be teaming up to take on the Lost. And again, I'm hoping that's Alex Misery and Crazy Steve, but I don't know which combination we're gonna get. Misery, it's so much fun to watch, and I would love to see him more and more. Now, Jetty Invincible thinks that it was Tommy Invincible as the masked man. I don't think it was, but I've been wrong before, so who knows. Then also for tonight's main event, we have the World Heavyweight Champion Silas Mason taking on Joe Kazana's own JAC. JAC first appeared on NWA Power back in 2024, teaming with Tim Storm in the NWA USA Tag Team Tournament. Then his most recent appearance came as a losing effort to Colby Carino earlier this year. I don't think Throwbilly is going to lose the title in his first match title defense, but crazier things have happened. And what other figures do you guys want to see? Because I ran out of things to talk about. I don't know. What do you want to talk about? You want to see my Lego collection? Be nice. It's his Lego collection. Kevin Owens. Yeah, it's Kevin Owens, guys. It's me, Kevin Owens. Like, comment, subscribe for more Kevin Owens content. Oh, this is what I got for my birthday for my daughters. And Optimus Prime. It's like it's a 4D build, I guess. I don't even really know what it is. I haven't opened it up yet, but I will. It's all good, Leo. It's part of the gag. Oh, he is the AML heavyweight champion. That's good to know, Retro. I wasn't aware of that. She actually walked in and just gave me the look of disgust and said, I don't know why I married you. Goddamn child. Did I show you my Walt Wiki? Walt? I don't know anymore. What am I doing, guys? What am I doing here? Someone save me. Ask me a wrestling question. Let's get back to wrestling. My son started saying dad over the weekend. He cannot say dada and hi. I'm loving it. Mama's jealous. You know, I think, and I'm not trying to poo-poo on what you're saying here, but I think kids say dada first, because I believe 2 of my 3 kids said dad first. The youngest one said mom first. It's and Double D, enjoy this, man. Enjoy this while you can. Kids are so amazing. They're so fun. And at this age, you know, they're still learning things and exploring the world, and this is such a fun time. Willie, were those the tall figures, or were those like the 3, you know, the smaller figures? I remember seeing the older G.I. Joes that were like the same size as like the Barbie dolls, but those were gone by the time I was a kid. Retro, I get that way too much. What NWA championship is behind me? Okay, so if you're on TikTok, you see this is the World Class 6-Man Tag Title. This is the NWA British Commonwealth Championship. And this title is the NWA World's Heavyweight Championship. The sickest prize in pro wrestling. 10 pounds of leather and gold, daddy. One scrap iron Adam Pearce declared that to be Sweet Charlotte, a name that the NWA still uses, even though they shouldn't. But yeah, those are my NWA belts. Thanks for asking, Big Red. Yeah, it's such a fun time. I feel like, and I'm not trying to be. All my kids are now out of that age, but the 11, I have an 11-year-old and a 12-year-old and a 21-year-old. But I think like 4 and 5 were such fun ages. Two gets hard. 2 and 3 get hard because they have those terrible 2s and those terrible 3s. That gets difficult. But 4 and 5 was a lot of fun. Huh?
4 was the best.
My wife said 4 was the best. I like 5 too. 5 was a lot of fun.
They're so creative and silly at 4.
They're so creative and silly at 4, my wife said. But Double D, enjoy it, man, because like it happens so fast. Like I remember bringing home each one of those kids like it was yesterday, and it was a long time ago. 21 years in some cases. And then what else? What else do you guys want to see? I have a plushy Blue Demon Jr. Why is 4 and 5 so much fun? Well, 4 and 5 are fun because they have enough personality that they can interact with you. They can play with you. They want you to play with them, and they're creative, and they can verbalize what they're thinking and feeling. Now, you can't have a full-blown conversation with them. They're not going to be able to tell you everything that they're feeling, but they can give you enough information that you can really connect with them more than you could when they were 2 or 3. A 3-year-old can talk. Some 2-year-olds can talk quite well, actually, but I feel like at 4 and 5, they really hadn't kind of hit their stride. And then, it's not that much different from 6 and 7, but it just kind of evolves, and as they get older, they have, they become their more individualized person. And, my 12-year-old is like my best buddy. My 12-year-old and I share the same brain almost. But even now, like, there's times where 12-year-old doesn't want to hear what dad has to say. And 12-year-old is, wants to argue with that, and it changes the dynamic of the relationship. So enjoy it while they're young, because, at some point they start rebelling, they resist, they get older, they have their own wants and needs, and they put their desires over yours, and that's just how it goes. That's life. But here I am giving dad advice on the Alliance blog. Hope you guys enjoy it. I know a lot of you guys are dads out there too, and I'm sure your own experiences are also unique and different, but my experiences at being a dad is amazing. I can't understand anybody who shies away from that job and that responsibility. I knew at an early age I wanted to be a father, and it's the most rewarding thing that I do every day. My kids are great. I'm very fortunate to have healthy kids, and they've all grown up to be pretty good human beings. Wife, are you still upstairs? Sorry, Double D, I can't tell you what my wife's favorite action figure is because she left the room. But it's probably the Voltron I haven't built yet because of the fact that she bought it for me and it was like really expensive. Very expensive. She probably would tell you that Rowdy Roddy Piper was her favorite figure because it has special significance. We named our daughter Piper. Not specifically after Rowdy Piper. That's what she tells people. I just thought it was a cute name for a little girl. But it doesn't hurt that Piper was one of my favorite wrestlers. Piper was actually one of her favorite wrestlers, too. She always liked his shit-talking. So she's not a big wrestling fan, but she always liked Rowdy Roddy Piper because of his gift of gab. Oh, yeah, man. The appetite, that's for sure, changes. It's the J Cow with a Kung Fu grip. Oh, my God. Chris, Jesus, man. That popped me. That's good. Let's see. Now you guys have me wanting to look for other things. Oh, there's the Undertaker. Sorry about the stomach. I have to reach up. Sorry. The Undertaker. I knew I had that one somewhere. Do bobble figures count? I got a lot of bobble. Oh, yeah. I haven't even opened this up out of the box yet. I got this off of TikTok as well. It's Devastator. I tried putting it together and I was confused. All right, we need some SoCal Strong stickers. Soto, we can make that happen. I'm pretty sure of it. My nephew is 14 and has his first ever girlfriend right now. Her name is Piper. That's crazy, man. You know, I knew that the name Piper was out there, right? I knew Piper existed because I guess that was the name of the actress who played in Coyote Ugly. I never saw that movie, but I've heard a lot of people say that. And I guess Orange is the New Black. I think that actress's name was Piper too. I don't know. But that's not where I got it from. I did get it from the wrestler. It wasn't intended to be an homage to Rowdy Piper. It just kind of worked out that way. All right, now I'm playing with action figures instead of talking. All right, guys. I think that's going to do it because my whole office space is starting to fall apart now. So we're going to call it a day. I do appreciate you guys hanging out with me. I hope you enjoyed the back scene tour, the action figure tour. I'll probably have to clip that and make it a whole video by itself, right? Anyways, I do appreciate you guys hanging out with me every Tuesday. We'll be back on Thursday, back to regularly scheduled programming. The Alliance guys, hopefully it'll be Rick and DKM and Jaden and myself as we discuss this week's Power. I'm positive it's going to be a good episode of Power. How could it not be? You got Mondo, you've got Silas Mason, and you've got Tiffany Nieves all in the same episode. Some titles will be on the line. I think it's going to be a good night of wrestling. So I hope you guys all will check it out and come back on Thursday and talk Power with us because I think it's going to be a fun episode. Anyways, until next time, we're going to see you at the matches. Good night now. Thanks for joining the stream. This has been a presentation of Alliance-Wrestling.com. We genuinely appreciate your support. Would you consider subscribing so you'll never miss a future episode? I'd also like to remind you we do a live stream every Tuesday at 5 p.m. before NWA Power. You can find us on social media at The Alliance Blog. And until next time, we are The Alliance. Next time. Amazing. You saw all the action figures. That's great. All right, bye, guys.